Only what will?
Oh no, I just need some more inspiration. You're not exactly a writer's idle muse, are you, brother?
Oh, we write these stories together. It's enough of the I and more of the we. Thank you very much.
Hush, brother.
Don't you hush me, brother.
Brother, we...
Why don't you hush for me?
Jacob, look! It seems you have guests on this midsummer's night.
Oh. Well met, lords and ladies, and lordettes, and ladiettes of the land.
One assumes, dearest brother, that they have come from far and wide to hear the tales of the Grimm brothers. Either that, or they've come to stone us to death. or burn us at the stake. Or gouge out our eyes, or feed us to the crows.
I'd best not be giving them ideas then, Wilhelm. You know what the common folk are like around these parts. Best we get on with our stories.
Yes, the stories.
Perhaps we should introduce our friends who travel with us.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the utmost pleasure in introducing you to our band of gypsy folk and musicians.
Now with the stories. We won't have enough time to tell them all. We must tell the ones we hold dear to our heart, but which one to end, and which one to start.
I think we should start with the one that's most gory. Are you ready? Here goes. This is our story.
Who did not heed what her mother had said.
This is the story of Red Riding Hood and what happened with her and the wolf in the wood.
The story of Hansel and Gretel doth lie. Who can say if they live or die? They paid the price and lost much more than home and wolf called at their door.
Years of strife and years of woe,
when shown, reaps rewards for all, when given by elves, both magic and small.
This is my story. This is my tale. Long grim back in London. Let's remind my happy year of. This is my story. This is my tale. Long grim back in London. Let's
Here starts the tale of Red Riding Hood. The girl so named, from her red hooded cape,
Made by her grandmother, who loved the dew.
which she always wore.
It is a summer's day. The sun is shining and the birds are singing.
And so the darkness begins.
Red Riding Hood, come here. Yes, Mama. Take some cake and wine to grandmother, for she is weak and ill and wants something to make her well. Yes, Mama. And don't loiter on by the way. I won't. Or run. I won't. Or else you may fall down, break the bottle, and then there'll be no wine for grandmother, and the cake will be spoiled. I promise I won't run or loiter, Mama. And don't forget to say good morning prettily without staring about you. I will do just as you say, Mama. You're a good girl. I'll see you on the morrow. Be safe. Ugh.
Now Red had a long journey ahead of her.
Through the dark and dangerous wood.
How can a mother send her on a journey such as this?
Well, I don't know. You wrote this bit.
You're mistaken, brother. I wrote the bit with the wolf.
Shh! We haven't got to that bit yet.
Haven't we?
Good morning, Red Riding Hood.
Said the wolf.
Good morning, Wolf.
What? Why is she speaking to him? Hasn't she listened to a word her mother said about speaking to strangers?
She's a brave girl who doesn't know how wicked the wolf is.
Brave or foolish?
We shall see.
Whither away so early, Red Riding Hood? To grandmother's. And what have you got in your basket? Cake and wine. We baked yesterday, so I'm taking a cake to Granny. She wants something to make her well. And where does your grandmother live, Red Riding Hood? At least another half day's travel into the woods. Her house stands under 3 big oak trees, near a hedge of nut trees, which you must know. This tame little creature,
The wolf thought.
will be a plump morsel. She'll be nice with the old woman. I must be cunning
Which he was.
and snap them both up. Don't mind me, no, don't get scared. I'm not so bad when compared to lions, tigers, killer whales, or beasts with nails and tails and scales. I'm a long wolf stranger. Can I walk with you?
at you. I can't believe you can't hear the birds sing. You are as solemn as if you're at school. Everything else is so glad in the woods. Why don't you go pick some flowers? Isn't that what girls your age love to do?
My mother told me not to stray from the path. She said the woods are a dangerous place.
Oh, that's what Mother's supposed to say, but she doesn't really mean it. Even if you were to pick those flowers in the glade there, you would still be able to do the path. So it's not as if you'll be able to get lost now, is it?
Now Red began to ponder, and her feet started to slow.
Whereas before, she'd been keeping a steady pace and keeping her eyes to the ground.
Suddenly, her eyes looked up, and when she saw the sunlight dancing through the trees and all the beautiful flowers, she thought to herself,
I'm sure Granny would be pleased if I took her a bunch of fresh flowers. It is still quite early. I shall have plenty of time to pick them.
I'll tell you what, Red Riding Hood, you can pick some flowers. I'll just wait here. Keep an eye out for danger.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Wolf. You are very kind. I won't be long, I promise.
Take all the time you need, child.
Every now and then, she'd look back to check if the wolf was still there.
which he was. He had all the time in the world.
However, eventually, Red even forgot about the wolf.
Soon enough, even her red cape was no longer visible from the path.
And this is when he crept away on the path of Granny's house.
What happened with her and the wolf in the wood.
On the day before Little Red Riding Hood set out into the woods, the woodcutter and his new wife, Ethel, had been arguing in their house on the other side of the forest.
Whilst Hansel and Gretel, the woodcutter's children,
But not Ethel's children, for she was their stepmother.
were listening from their bedroom upstairs.
This can't continue. I'm starving. And once again, you come home without any bread for the table.
My love, I keep telling you there is no money. And even if I had any, there is barely anything available in the village. And the stuff that is there is too expensive.
For you see, a famine had struck across the land and many of the poor were slowly starving to death.
Why are you smiling?
Carol.
Oh, there's always an excuse for you, isn't there, my dearest husband? It's a pity I can't eat excuses. I would be full to bursting.
I'm very sorry, my love.
What is to become of us? How are we to feed our poor children when we have nothing for ourselves?
Why is she so mean to Papa?
I don't know, Gretel. Maybe she's a witch. But shh, we must keep quiet, otherwise they may hear us.
And then she'll turn into a slug.
Or a cabbage.
Or a worm.
I wish she could turn you into a pie so I could eat you. I'm starving. Now shh.
Luckily for you, I've thought of a solution to our problem.
You have?
Yes. Tomorrow morning, we will take children out quite early into the thickest part of the forest. We will light a fire, give them each a piece of bread, and then go to our work and leave them alone. They won't be able to find their way back, and so we shall be rid of them.
Yes, no, wait, what? No! No, my wife, we won't do that. You know I can never leave the children alone in the forest. You know the wild animals would soon tear them to pieces.
You are a fool, that we must all four die of hunger. You may as well plane the boards for our coffins at once.
They argued and argued for hours. Eventually, the husband gave in, saying,
Very well. You know, I am really hungry. Oh, but I grieve over our poor children all the same.
But Hansel and Gretel were still listening, and had heard all.
It's all over with us.
Be quiet, Gretel. Don't cry. I will find some way out of it.
Let us go to bed. Oh, my bones and my heart are more tired than ever.
Stay here. Don't make a sound and don't follow me. What can I do? There must be a way. Save us from this cruel fate. Let us live another day.
Here is something for your dinner, but mind you don't eat it before, for you'll get no more.
white cat. It's assisting on the chimney.
Let us know, white cat. Is the morning sun shining on the chimney?
Of course, Hansel had not been looking at the cat.
He'd been dropping a pebble on the ground each time he stopped.
Once they were in the middle of the forest, their father said,
Now, children, gather up some wood. I want to make a fire to warm you.
Now, lie down by the fire and rest yourselves while we go and cut wood. When we have finished, we will come back and get you.
Hansel had fallen asleep.
The hours passed, but there was no sign of the woodcutter and his wife.
Push you can, kind sir, soon we will be friends. Walk, skip, or if you prefer, we'll dance through this race. Oh, dearest little friend, you wherever. If the flowers as we go, we'll be friends forever. Your word, kind sirs, words I have made today. Dear friends like Mr. Wolf, none wants me as their prey. Oh, dearest little friend, we'll skip with you wherever. Picking flowers as we go, we'll be friends forever. Picking flowers as we go, we'll be friends forever. Oh, hello. And hello again. My name is Little Red Riding Hood. Hello, I'm Gretel and this is my brother Hansel. Nice to meet you both. But what are you doing out here by yourselves?
We are helping Father find wood.
He's a woodcutter and sometimes he lets us help him. Oh, that sounds like fun. Would you like me to help you?
I think we have enough wood now. We are expecting Father to come back any minute.
Psst, well, why doesn't he tell them what's really happening?
They're too proud, and they still love their father. They didn't want him to get into any sort of trouble.
What are you doing out in the forest? Oh, I'm on my way to my grandmother's. She lives in the forest, but she is ill. I'm taking her some cake and wine.
Cake? You have cake?
Yes, we baked yesterday, so I'm taking a cake to Gran. Look. Oh dear, Red, we're just poor children who haven't eaten real food for months. Could we please have a little bit of the cake? Well, I'm supposed to take it all to Grandmother to make her better. But I suppose she would miss a little bit. I tell you what, will you help me pick some more flowers for Grandmother? Then I can give you some of this cake.
Picking flowers is for girls.
Stop being a fool. Do you want some cake?
Very well, we will help. We'll be concentrating on the fire.
That's okay. There are plenty of flowers nearby.
Hansel and Gretel helped Red Riding Hood pick flowers for her granny in exchange exchange for a piece of cake each.
But as is often the way in stories like this, picking flowers turns into games like hide and seek,
And tag.
and ironically, grandma's footsteps.
Meanwhile, the wolf arrived at grandmother's house.
Who's there?
Red Riding Hood, bring you a cake and some wine. Open the door.
Press the latch, I'm too weak to get up.
In went the wolf.
He sprang upon the poor old woman.
Shot her up in one mouthful.
Poor Granny. Then the wolf put on Granny's glasses,
And dressing gown and nightcap.
and then he climbed into grandmother's bed and waited for little Red Riding Hood to arrive.
The children had completely lost track of time, and very soon, the sun was almost down.
Oh my, it's nearly dark. I must be off. I still have a long journey ahead of me.
How will you find your way?
It's okay. The moon is nearly up and it will light the path. It was lovely to meet you. Goodbye, Red Riding Hood, and I hope your granny doesn't lose the cake.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye! How shall we ever get out of this woods?
Wait till the run is right. The moon will be up soon, and then we will soon find our way.
Hansel was right. As soon as the moon shone brightly above their heads, he took his little sister's hand.
And they walked on, guided by the pebbles which glittered in the moonlight, like newly coined money.
They walked through a night, and at daybreak, they found themselves back in their village.
Then, a strange thing happened, which I'm sure you won't expect at this point in the story.
With the three little kids, Piggy 1, 2 and 3, we lived in a crib with our Piggy MC, deciding on the spot without seconds to grief. Empty Mummy Pig said that it was time to leave. Pick out the MC, it's time we need to go. Time to pack, time to walk. And the third little pig, the cleverest of us three. Lost and not reached the second of a swine, after some discreet place to build a house of pine. With the three little pigs, Piggy 1, 2 and 3, after build a house of Mum said it was time to leave. But hats off, Piggies having nowhere left to go, throwing out of the pipe and in danger of a fire. MC Oink!
Why are you all so cross?
Mummy threw us out of home.
Apparently, we're too old to be living with our mother.
We are exiles, held into world of oppression, political turmoil, and the most bloodthirsty of predators in the known universe.
What are you going to do?
Well, Mummy told us she said,
She said whatever you do, do it the best you can, because that's the way to get along in the world.
wise words spoken in the street tongue.
So we're off to build our own homes and find our fortunes. Good day to you, young miss.
Sir, farewell, young maiden, and kind young master. Wish us well. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Oh, good luck.
Reach the age when on your own, you're asked to move away from home. Always listen to good advice. If you're lazy, you'll pay the price.
But listen not to these two pigs, and using tools like straw and twigs.
They paid the price and lost much more than Homeward Wolf called at the door. Meanwhile, Red had arrived at her grandma's house.
terrible stomach, getting ever so cross.
She was surprised to find the front door of her granny's cottage standing wide open.
Suddenly, she felt children crawl up her back, and she thought,
Generally, I like coming to see Grandmother so much. Why do I feel so scared?
But out loud, she cried,
Good morning, Grandmother! Granny, are you there?
feeling more than a little apprehensive, Red Riding Hood crossed the threshold.
What big ears you've got, Grandmother.
The better to hear you with, my dear.
Grandmother, what big eyes you've got.
The better to see you with, my dear.
What big hands you've got,
The
Grandmother.
better to catch hold of you with, my dear.
But Grandmother, what big teeth you've got.
The better to eat you up with, my dear.
There you have the walking. My buttons are aching.
The further we go, the more likely we are to find our fortune. Every fool knows that.
I didn't.
Yes, well...
Now, let us not argue. Mother told us to stick together.
Yeah, because you always listen to Mummy, don't you?
At least I can understand what she's telling us.
He raises a good point, brother.
I don't care what Mummy said. I am tired. Look, there's a thread of straw over there. I am going to burn my house out of that.
Really?
Yeah, you two can get lost. I don't want you in my neighbourhood.
Fine, but let's go, brother. Mummy said he was the laziest.
I'll show him. I'm nice, Mummy.
feel sorry for this one. It's not his fault he's a bit slow on the uptake.
He's an idiot and he'll die an idiot.
Oh!
Bad children! Why did you sleep so long in the woods? We thought you did not mean to come back anymore.
My darling children, you're here. Give me a hug.
Woodcut and his children were happy once more.
But it did not last. That night, the children heard Ethel once more.
We have eaten up everything again, apart from half the loaf. Then that is the end of everything. The children must go away. We will take them deeper into the forest, so they will not be able to find their way back. There is nothing else to be done.
This time now, there were no white pebbles. For Hansel to use to create a path.
And it was Gretel whose idea it was to use the breadcrumbs.
Which she scattered on the floor as they were taken into the woods the next morning.
I am so scared. I need to pray for help from God above. Let's do another day.
Woodcut and his wife made Hansel and Gretel build themselves a pile of twigs and sticks.
Before abandoning them to their fate.
Come on, Gretel. This is a child's play. I must find a spray. Let's just do another day.
This time, however, Woodcut was more upset. She and Ethel walked the path home.
Should I say?
you're a weak husband of mine. I was a foolish woman ever to have married you.
Good day. And superb and beautiful letters as well. Don't you think, my lord?
I am no lord king, but merely a humble woodcutter. And this is my wife Ethel.
Pleasure, I'm sure, but we're in a little bit of a hurry, my lords, so please do excuse us.
I say, did you say you're a woodcutter?
That's right.
Hence the wooden burden on his back, my most observant brother.
Yes, I see that now. How much can I pay for that wood, sir?
My dear lords, this is wood cut from one of the finest hazel trees in the forest. Very tough as hazel, my lord, and a great deal of labour it takes to fell a single branch. May I ask how much gold you have on you, kind sir?
Don't
2
you...
bags of silver and half gold.
Well, I should say, for a fair stack of branches such as this, it will cost you at least double that. But you have a kind face, dear sir, and so we shall do you a deal.
A fine lady you have here, sir, and generous.
I shall try no longer in the company of fools and thieves.
Oh, don't mind him. I thank you, sir.
Come, Ethel, let us leave this lord in peace.
Once they were out of earshot of the pig, the woodcutter turned on his wife and cried,
You are a wicked woman, and I shall be wed to you no longer. Leave me now, and never shall you return to my home or harm my children. You are a witch.
It would be my utmost pleasure to take my leave of you and your little brats.
It's strange to see the door wide open.
and being a man, kind of heart.
And fearing for the inhabitants of the cottage, he withdrew his small woodcutter's axe and entered the cottage.
Inside, he found a wolf asleep.
His large belly sticking out the side of the bed was making some very strange noises.
He put his ear up against the wolf's stomach and heard the cries of little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother.
Without a second thought, he sliced open the wolf's stomach as he slept.
Out rolled Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother.
Thank you, kind sir.
Hush, my lady. The beast is still alive.
Oh my God!
We must fill him with stones so he does not realise that we have escaped.
And that is what they did. Then Granny stitched the wolf back up.
They took the wolf far away from the cottage and left him in a clearing in the middle of the woods.
The third little pig had travelled so far through the forest that he reached the nearby town.
As he was walking down the high street, he saw a large pile of stones piled in a front garden of a house.
Realising that stone was stronger than both twigs and straw, he decided to build his house out of it.
Good day, kind sir. I wish to purchase this stone, which is piled in such a fashion that one assumes you have no need for it.
You're quite right, my lord. That stone belonged to my grandfather's great-great-grandfather's great-grandmother. I'm not sure what she was planning to do with it. She's a shoemaker like me.
A shoemaker, you say? Excellent news. You can also make me some leather boots, so I may build my home in safety.
Alas, my lord, if only I could. We are so poor, we've not been able to buy any leather for weeks. The last piece of leather we had, my dear wife cooked and made into leather souffle.
My heart mourns for you, dear sir. Leather souffle? Ah. Here's 3 pieces of gold, 2 for the stone and 1 for the leather boots.
They will be the best boots a pig has ever worn. I will start work straight away.
Ah, my heart glows with happiness. And I should have asked for a wheelbarrow.
Now, let us tell you a little of the woodcutter and his wife.
There once was a time long ago.
This town was rich of worship,
Was put on here for queen and king.
the lordlings dance, the peasants sing.
But then one year the gods did frown and sent a drought upon this town. For 80 days and 80 nights no rain would fall from heaven's heights. And this is when the tale gets sad, for times were rough and times were bad. The lack of water took its toll, and I lost my baby, I lost my soul. We lost our baby, we lost our soul.
But still these tunes I daughter, the one that died from lack of water.
But do not fear, my watchful friends, this story has a happy end.
My dearest wife, I come with glad tidings.
What is it, my dear? Is the drought over?
Alas, I wish I could say it was. But look,
But how? Who?
you will never believe me.
Tell me.
My dear, it is the strangest tale. This money has come from a young lord who has bought old pile of stones in the front garden to build himself a house. But not a human lord, my love. A pig lord.
Never.
It's as true as true can be. But my dear, we must set to work, for I promised that we'd make him some boots. Run up to the tanners and purchase for us the finest leather we can afford. I will make his pig trotters into those worthy of a prince.
And his wife did as she was bid, and rushed up the hill to buy the finest piece of leather the shop owned.
She also brought new tools and supper, and very soon the 3 coins were turned into silvers and coppers.
But the shoemaker didn't mind this. He was just happy to be making shoes once again.
After they had made the boots, they realised they had enough leather to make 1 pair of shoes.
The shoemaker then placed the boots in a box ready for the pig, and placed the shoes in the shop window for the whole world to see. Then they went to bed,
Exhausted.
but more content they had been for weeks. Shoemaker and wife was sad and deprived, but fortune was granted at night a surprise.
For kindness when shown, roots rewards for all, when given by elves, both magic and small.
Hansel had fallen asleep.
Mother, wake up.
It's time to head off. Come then, we shall soon find our way.
But they couldn't, for in the night, all the thousands of birds in the forest had pecked up the breadcrumbs and eaten them.
They were very hungry, but all they had was a few berries which they had found.
And they were so tired that their legs would not carry them any further.
But then they saw a beautiful golden bird sitting on a tree.
It sang so beautifully that they stood still to listen to it. And this is what they did. They followed the bird, and soon enough they spied smoke rising in the distance.
Hansel, look, it must be home.
But it wasn't home. When they arrived at the place they had seen the smoke, a heavenly sight awaited them.
Ugh, I hate this part. This was your idea.
It's cute, so shut up. Do you know what they found? A house made of gingerbread and sweets.
This will be something for us. I will have a piece of the roof, Gretel, and you can have a piece of the window. It'll be nice and sweet.
She took them by the hand
You will come to no harm.
and led them into her cottage.
But they found dinner had been laid out for them. Pancakes and sugar, milk, apples, and nuts.
After that, she led them to 2 white beds, into which they crept and felt as if they were in heaven.
And the wolf told his story.
Missing out the gruesome bits, of course.
And the fox's heart melted.
I am moved almost to tears by your story, my friend. I will help you, but it will hurt greatly, for I need to cut these stones out of you and then stitch you back up again.
I will try not to howl.
And so the fox set to work, cutting the stones out of the wolf's stomach and carefully sewing them back up again once more.
You have my thanks, my friend. As being so kind, I will not eat you.
And for a wolf with an empty stomach, this was the most gracious gesture.
Now, I smell pig nearby. I'm sure of it. Come, my friend, and we will feast on sausages and bacon together.
It is a generous offer, but I am meeting with the prince on a hill.
And with that, he scampered off.
The wolf shrugged, and then he stalked off into the trees, following the scent of pig.
Just one last piece of straw. It's about here. Done.
Let me in! Let me in, little pig, or I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll blow your house in.
No,
deep breath and blew and blew and blew the poor little pig's house down.
Then he gobbled up the silly little pig who built his house out of straw.
And then he fell asleep in the wrap of the house. Who's that coming down the hill?
A prince, I'd say.
And a courtier from the king's court.
What are they doing here, I wonder?
We shall find out soon enough.
They've seen the shoes that the shoemaker and his wife made the night before.
Yes, and impressed they are too.
Good morrow, kind lady. We wish to purchase these shoes.
Of course, my lord. I'll fetch my husband.
I'm here, my love. Good day, my lord. I wish to purchase these shoes, but they are made for a lady, not a lord.
They are for a lady. Haven't you heard the news of the 12 princesses?
The king's daughters, the 12 princesses, wear a pair of shoes every night, but no one knows how or why.
We have come to buy new shoes for the princesses, and then I will discover the truth of this mystery.
And if you don't, you shall lose your head, my lord.
I don't need to worry. It will be easy, for they are young girls and do not have the wit to fool a prince like me.
If you say so, my lord. Is this the only pair of shoes you have?
Yes, my lord, and you're lucky to have those. Times are hard for small people like us. These were made just last night.
Very well, we shall take this pair and see if the king approves. If he does, we shall come back with enough gold for you to make 12 pairs.
Your lordship is very kind, and we shall look forward to your visit.
Good day.
Excuse my kind sir. In need of a good meal. Did you happen to pass a pig on your way to these parts?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yes, we did, actually. Just keep following this road for half a mile, and you will find a pig building his house of sticks.
Oh, thank you, my lord.
That was cruel, my lord. I should not.
Now, I'm sure you can guess what happens next in our story. But for those of you who are foolish and ignorant enough to not have read our stories,
My work here is done. Not bad at all if I say so myself.
Let me in, little pigs, or I'll huff and I'll blow your house in.
Not by the hairs of my chinny chin.
but alas, the wolf once again drew a deep breath and blew and blew and blew the poor little pig's house down.
Please, Wolf, no.
And then he gobbled up the slightly less, but still quite silly pig who built his house out of twigs.
And then he fell asleep in that house.
Now, lords and ladies, I think you've heard enough to keep your minds occupied for a while.
Take a short break, but we'll be back soon. But don't be late back, because we all know what happens to someone who is late to the court of the king. Stole away in the night, but ran from their beds. But who paid the price with their life and their head?
This is my story.
parents will never be free.
Unless by a man with intentions most true, a few can be found, fewer than few. Wow, this place is amazing.
This is the palace of the king with the 12 princesses.
This is your story, brother. So maybe you should fill in our audience with all the little details which have not yet been explained.
Yes, yes. Now, as I said, the king and queen have 12 princesses, each more beautiful than the last. I'm not quite sure how that works really, but it does. And these 12 dancing princesses' favourite thing to do was to dance. Now, each night the princesses go to bed in the same room, leaving their shoes at the foot of their beds. However, when they awoke every morning when they are woken from their slumber, it appears that their shoes have been danced to pieces. Unable to explain this mystery, the king sent out a proclamation saying that anybody who could discover where the princesses did their night's dancing could choose one of them to be his wife and reign after the king's death. However, whoever presented themselves and failed to make the discovery after one night would forfeit his life.
Cheerious, Emma.
You know me, brother. Anyway, tonight is Prince Robert's turn to find out what's happened.
This is too easy. With me standing guard here, these princesses will never be able to escape to their magic dancing halls. This is good wine the princesses have given me. Slightly strange aftertaste, but I won't read into that anymore, as the wine's gone from my head.
And with that, Prince Robert fell asleep where he sat. But it was no good. The shoemaker and his wife could not stay awake any longer.
What are we going to do? If we can't make these shoes for the king, he's sure to have us arrested all at once.
Just when things were starting to look up. Shall I send for John?
He's still away in the forest hunting. I'm not sure I've back in time to help us.
We must pray to the Lord above to help us, and then we must sleep.
Someone's standing in my
wicked witch.
Who was on watch for children wandering alone in the woods.
Why?
Because she's hungry.
What? Do you mean... She eats them?
Of course she does.
You see, this is why I don't like it when it's your turn to write a chapter in our stories. You're sadistic.
You love it, really. Anyway, the witch woke up early that morning, and when she saw the children sleeping and their beautiful rosy cheeks, she murmured to herself,
They will make dainty morsels. Get up! Raise the bones. Fetch the water. And cook something nice for your brother. He is in the cage over there. And needs to be fattened. And when he is nice and fat, I will eat him.
oh, this girl cries too much.
Poor Gretel had to obey the witch's order. The best food was now served for Hansel, though Gretel was only left with the scraps.
Hansel got fatter and fatter, but he was a clever boy. And when the witch hovered over and said,
Hansel, put your finger out so I can tell how fat you are.
he would poke out a knuckle bone.
Which his sister had given him.
For you see, the witch's eyes were dim, and she could not see. She thought it was his finger, and was much astonished that he did not get fat.
What do you mean you didn't find out where they go?
Your Highness, please accept my humblest apologies. The princesses, they did something to my wine.
How dare you? My girls will never do such a thing. My lord, you must have this mass at this very moment. You can add it to your breakfast.
Take him away and remove his head from his neck.
No, please.
Next.
Your Majesty.
I have the honour of presenting Prince Thomas from the Enchanted Isles of Wester.
Do you know the terms, sir?
I do, my lord, and have no fear. It would take more than 12 dancing processes to outwit me. My mother has always told me that I by far the cleverest of the six with others.
Whoa, I got children stand up, 16 boys, oh, the admin.
Courtier?
Yes, Your Highness.
Those shoes you bought were very innocent. They were the only pair that didn't wear through last month. You must go back to the shoemaker and buy 11 more.
I shall, Your Majesty, but I fear I should only be able to buy one more on my visit, as these were bought from a poor craftsman. I only carried enough gold to be able to order one more pair.
You there, get as much gold as the courtier needs to buy 11 more pairs of shoes. No, wait, 10 more. Oh, this is complicated. It's done.
And with that, the king and queen withdraw, and Prince Thomas and the courtier set out on the journey once more to the shoemaker's house.
his wife wake up to find another pair of shoes on display in the shop window.
How can this be? Did you do this, my love? No, my lord. It was not I. This is the work of something magical. Look at the detail on this. No human hand could have created such beauty. We must find out who did this and reward them.
I know who did this, Father!
John! When did you get back?
Late last night, and I saw the most magical things happen under this roof.
Tell us what happened, son.
And so John sat down with his mother and father and told them what he had seen, describing the dishevelled clothes the elves had been wearing.
Suddenly, there was a knock at the door.
Goodness me, that must be the courtier of the king.
You have pleased the king, shoemaker, and he demands that you make 10 more pairs of shoes. Who is this?
This is my son, my lord. His name is John.
My lord, it's an honour to meet you.
Well spoken, sir. Ah, this is Prince Thomas from the Enchanted Isles of Wester.
Peasants.
I see you made another pair of shoes.
Yes, my lord. Just allow me to box them for you.
Wow, these are magnificent. I've never seen such craftsmanship. Here is enough gold to make 10 more pairs of shoes. You should have a busy night ahead of you, for I shall arrive tomorrow to collect them.
Your lordship is very kind. We shall start work straight away.
Good day.
£30 pieces! We are richer than we have ever been, my lord. Good wife, we must make haste. Go to the tanners and purchase for us enough leather to make 10 pairs of shoes, but also buy a few pieces more, and some cloth, for I have an idea.
What is your plan, Father?
These elves must be rewarded for their hard work, as we shall require their assistance again tonight. So, I propose that instead of making these shoes today, we make a gift of shoes and clothes for the elves. Then we will leave the leather out with the gifts, say our prayers, and go to bed.
That is a good plan, Father.
I must go at once.
Magnificent, such fine stone. My house is a wonder to behold and can present anything nature has to throw at it.
Let me, little pig, or I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
Not by the house of my chinny chin chin.
But alas, once again, Wolf drew a deep breath and blew, come on, and blew, and blew.
But this time the wolf could not blow down the pig's house.
This made the wolf very angry.
Well, if I can't blow this house in, I have to climb in through the chimney.
But little did the wolf know that this was the cleverest pig that had ever lived, and he guessed the wolf's plan.
He set a cauldron of boiling water beneath the fireplace and lit the wood beneath it until it was steaming away.
Ooh, piggy, I'm coming to get you.
The wolf lost his footing, and
Boiled wolf, anyone? It's my speciality.
Watch out, Clog! Someone's standing on my toe. Ow! That's like me, Clog.
Me, I'm over here.
Why did someone else get him to do that thing with the knife? He's over here.
see, my brother, the elves must keep living the same night until the person they are working for returns a favour. Ah, I know. Why don't we let them tell their story? I think you might recognise bits of it.
Now, there is one more story which must be told.
I think I know which one you mean, brother, but I fear it's far too dark for this audience.
I think they're ready for it. They've already seen 2 pigs get eaten, a wolf sliced, stuffed with stones and then boiled, and a sweet old granny that turned into a scary child-eating witch. I think they can handle Rapunzel.
It's supposed to be a surprise. Now, I bet you're all thinking, Rapunzel, that's not scary at all.
But you are definitely mistaken. Our story has been softened over the years by parents who thought it was too nasty to tell their children. But I think we should tell it anyway.
Really? Are you sure? I'm not.
What ails you, my dear wife?
Wait, this took place about 14 years ago. The time scale is all wrong.
Brother. Stop panicking. Here's right though. This did take place about 14 years ago. But just go with it.
Alas, if I cannot get a rampion from the garden on the other side of the wall suite, I shall die.
By the way, for those of you who do not know what rampion is,
It's a plant.
Before you let your wife die, you must purchase some rampion from her, from the garden next door. But I must be careful, as I hear a witch lives on the other side. Probably just not very
Once it was dark, the man climbed over the wall and began to hastily pick a handful of rampion. And then he turned back to the wall.
Today comes my girl like a thief and steal my rampion. It should be the worst for you.
Please be merciful. I'm only here from necessity. My wife seized her rampion. My wife seized her rampion from the bedroom, from the window, and she had such a longing for it. She said she would die if she did not get any.
If this is as you say, I'll allow you to take away with you as much rampion as you like, but on one condition. You must give me the child your wife is about to bring into the world. I'll care for it like a mother, and all will be well with it.
Now, in his fear, the man consented to everything. And when the baby was born, it was given the name Rapunzel. And then the witch took it away with her.
That was amazing. And those shoes, they are magical.
Where is Prince Thomas?
He could not find the reason behind the 12 dancing princesses, so he was decapitated just before breakfast.
Goodness me, we haven't even had breakfast, Jen.
Mother, wait. I have an announcement to make, and you're not going to like it.
Go on.
I wish to travel back with the courtier to the palace of the king to discover the truth behind the 12 dancing princesses.
You can't! You'll be killed!
No, I won't. I am an honest soul, and good too, and I like to be favourable of late. Please, do not make me question this.
The lad's mind is made up, my dear, and there is nothing a mother can do to dissuade him.
Thank you.
It'd be an honour, my lord.
I can't understand it. I've been feeding you for days and days, and yet you are still as thin as a rake! Gretel, come and fetch the water. Fat or thin, I will kill Hansel and Gretel. Today.
Oh, how his poor sister grieved as she carried the water. The tears streamed down her cheeks. What?
I'm not saying anything, dearest brothers.
Dear God, help us. If only the wild animals in the forest had devoured us, we should at least have died together.
You may spare your lamentations, but they will do you no good. Now, we shall bake first. I have heated the oven and leave the dough. Creep in and see that it is properly heated. Then we will put the bread in.
But she can't be buying into that. She must know that as soon as she checks it, which
Wait a minute, and you will see.
I don't know how to get in. How am I going to manage it?
Stupid child! The opening is big enough. You see, I could fit inside it myself.
Now, Rapunzel was the most beautiful child under the sun. When she was 16 years old, the witch, Gothel, locked her up in a tower which stood in the wood.
It had neither staircase nor doors, and only a little window right out the walls. When the witch wanted to enter the tower, she stood at the foot of it and cried, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your
unless by a man with intentions most true, of few can be found, fewer than few.
Wait, who is that on the road?
It's an old woman! Quick! We must help her! Are you alright? What happened?
Thank you, my boy. I'm well enough. I just lost my footing for stepping there.
Here, have some of my water.
Take my stick to lean as you travel.
You are good men. Whither to do you travel?
I really don't know myself, but I'd like to discover where the king's daughters dance their shoes into holes. And after that, to
towards his eyes, I see. That is not so difficult. In the middle of the forest is a tower with no doors and no stairs. Inside this tower is a girl. She's held prisoner of evil woman Gothel. Her name is Rapunzel, and she's the most beautiful under the sun. You must go to her and aid her in any way you can. Sacrifices will be made, but it will all be worthwhile in the end.
My lord, you must heed this magic woman's advice. Can you find your way to the king's palace by yourself? It's only 10 leagues that way, and you'll see it glimmering in the distance.
I will find it, my lord, and thank you.
I wish you luck, my friend.
As do I.
I'll find the truth, things I'm sure I know.
John listened to the advice of the old woman and presented himself to the king and queen and offered himself as a suitor. He was well received and dressed in royal garments.
In the evening, when bedtime came, he was conducted to the anteroom. As he was about to go to bed,
My lord, you look tired and need refreshment. Here, take this wine and drink your fill. Good night, my lord.
Sweet dreams. You too must forfeit his life.
Stories like ours are good advice. There's some who are naughty and some who are nice. These 12 princesses was of our land, united by dance together we stand.
princesses indeed, with these 12 noble girls whose dresses that shone with silver and pearls.
Stole away in the night and ran from their beds, but who paid the price with their life and their head?
I don't know what it is, but I feel so strange. And misfortune is sadly hanging over us.
You're a little goose.
You're always right.
Have you forgotten how many princes have come here and there?
Why? We need not give that boy a sleeping drug. Look, and we never
Hansel, we're saved. The old witch is dead.
John heard it all and did not hesitate to follow the last princess out.
As Hansel and Gretel had nothing more to fear, they went into the witch's bedroom and found chests in every corner, full of pearls and precious stones.
These are better than pebbles. I must be some beautiful too. And now we go, slowly as ashes, enchanted wood.
Where all the leaves were silver and glittered and shone. And John thought,
I take the room back with me. All is not well. Did you hear that sound?
Those are 12 salutes.
moving further, they came to an avenue where all the leaves were gold. Then moving on, diamond. Both times, John broke off a twig as a token of his journey.
And each time, the youngest princess turned in terror to see what was behind them, but there was nothing there.
As they moved on, faster and faster, they came to a great lake, where lay 12 little boats, and in each boat sat a handsome gypsy man.
They greeted the princesses as if they were expecting them, and each took one of them with him.
John seated himself next to the eldest.
I don't know why, the boat seems much heavier today, and I'm obliged to throw all my fruit to get to the floor.
I don't know why it is, unless perhaps it's the hot weather. It's strangely hot.
Across the lake, there was a marvellous sight.
A wooded glade covered in lights and hanging fabrics.
This is where the gypsies live.
into a mouse.
Oh my, all right. Mind yourself, Mother Gothel.
Now, Rapunzel was scared, for she had never set her eyes on a man before. But the courtier talked to her kindly. He said that he had been so deeply touched by her song that he had no peace.
Locked away in this tower low, it's an evil place to be called a home.
I am here for you, my love. I hope that you'll please. I'm to guide you. I'm set you free.
Set me free, set me free, set me free. I need to be
With that, Hansel lost all her fear, and when he asked her if she would have him for her husband, she thought,
He'll love me better than old Mother Gothel.
so she said,
Yes.
"What?
Can you hear yourself? You sound like me.
Shut up."
I will gladly go with you, but I do not know how I'm going to get down from this tower. When you come, will you bring a skein of silk with you? I will twist it into a ladder, and when it is long enough, I will descend by it, and you can take me away with you.
So they arranged to meet every evening, for the witch was there during the day.
Meanwhile, the princesses danced and danced until 3 in the morning, when they were too tired and had to stop. But they looked down at their shoes in amazement, for their shoes had not walked.
So it is with the magic of elves.
But the gypsy men took them back across the lake, and when they got to the palace, John rushed ahead, lay down in his bed, and began to snore.
We're quite safe as far as he's concerned.
Meanwhile, Hansel and Gretel had come to a stretch of water themselves.
We can't get across it. I see no stepping stones and no bridge.
And there are no boats either, but there's a dustbin. It'll take us over to the outskirts.
Little duck that cries, quack, 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 quack. Here Gretel and Hansel stand. Quickly take us on your back. Though both the bridge is near at hand.
Oh, Mother Gothel, how can you be so much heavier than...
Heavier than what? Oh, you wicked child, what do you say? I thought it separated you from all the world, and yet you deceive me.
So the witch seized Rapunzel's hair, wrapped it around her left hand twice, and cut the plaits, which fell to the ground.
She was so merciless that she took Rapunzel into the wild and forced her to live in the greatest grief and misery.
Hansel and Gretel moved on, only stopping briefly when
Hansel, look, boats, 12 little boats. And each with a beautiful man and woman in it.
They're princesses, to be certain.
When they had got to the other side, they started walking, and the woods became more and more familiar.
in the distance they saw their father's cottage and began to run.
with the gypsy folk in the enchanted forest.
Does he speak the truth?
When the princesses saw that they had been betrayed, and they knew they would gain nothing from lies, so they said,
It is true. Do not be ashamed, my daughters. Now, my love, which one of my daughters do you take to wife?
I shall take this one, because she is the fairest and most knowing.
And so the wedding was celebrated on that very day, and the throne was promised on the king's death.
Ah, so you've come to fetch your lady love, but the pretty bird is no longer in her nest, for the cat has seized her, and will scratch your eyes out too.
The courtier was beside himself with grief, and in his despair sprang out of the window.
he was not killed, but his eyes were scratched out from the thorns among which he fell.
He wandered about, blind in the wood. And he had nothing but roots and berries to eat.
He did nothing but weep and lament over the loss of his beloved wife and mother.
In this way he wandered about for some years.
Till at last he reached the wilderness where Rapunzel had been living. In great poverty, the twins would be born to her, a boy and a girl.
He soon heard a voice that was familiar to him and went towards it.
Two of her tears fell upon his eyes, and they immediately grew quite clear, and he could see as well as ever.
So he took her back to his kingdom, where he was received with joy. They lived long and happily together.